Assalamu alaikum students. This video I'm preparing only for sketches. All sketches came from 2020 onwards in paper 2 and paper 4. So let me draw the sketches. Sketches is doesn't mean that you have to draw, you have to plot the points. Just need to see the features in that equation. If you see that we have an equation of a line, we want to sketch it. Look at that. We want to sketch this line. What is the gradient given here? The gradient is 1, and minus 3 is the y-intercept. So this is minus 3. The gradient is 1 over 1. So 1 up, 1 right. So this is the point and this is the point. Then you draw this rough sketch, this line. So what did we see first, guys? We see our y-intercept, which is given to us minus 3. So I came and stand um, on the y-axis, and then from the y-intercept, I saw what was my gradient, rise over run. So from minus 3, I went 1 unit up. I went 1 unit up, and I go 1 unit right. So I stopped at this point. So I put a dot here and this. So draw a line which is passing through these two blue dots. So we have drawn a line. So that is the sketch of y is equals to x minus 3. Next is y is equal to 1 over x. It's a reciprocal graph. So you need to know it should be drawn like this. Your graph should not touch the x-axis and y-axis because x-axis and y-axis are the asymptotes. So draw the graph like this. If in the exam he gives you y is equal to minus 1 over x, guys, you will draw it like this. If the examiner in the graph exam he gives you y is equal to 1 over x squared, so the graph is like this. If he gives you the graph or y is equals to minus 1 over x squared, then you have your hyperbolas here in this third and the fourth quadrant. Anyways, so this graph is done here. Next is we have to draw the cosine graph. So cosine graph, guys, you can go to the table mode of a calculator. I have already explained it to you how to use the table. If you use the table mode of a calculator, the range is from 0 to 360 degree. Your step is always 90 degrees. So the calculator give you at 0 you got 1, at 90 degree you got 0, at 180 degree you got minus 1, 270 you got 0, 360 gives you 1 if you use the table mode of a calculator. Let me show it to you one more time. Menu. Everyone has a calculator in which there is a feature of tables. So you just go to the table. Examiner asks you, calculator asks you what is the function you have. You have a cosine uh, x bracket close. Calculator will ask you from where you want to start. I want to start from 0. I want to end at 360. And what is my step? Step is for trigonometric function is always 90 degree. You have to take in IGCSE. So then you see 0, 1, 90, 0, 180 minus 1, 270, 0, and 360 is 1. So sine and cosine graphs are wavy like of functions, curves. So like this, and then you draw it like this. So this is a cosine graph. Next is he's asking you how to solve the trigonometric equation. To solve the trigonometric equation, you need to make cosine of x as a subject. For this, we need to send the things on the other side. First 2 goes to the other side. 4 cosine of x is equal to 3 minus 2 is 1. Then cosine of x is equal to 1 over 4. Now see your answer is positive. If your answer is positive according to the ASTC diagram, which I have already explained it to you, cosine is positive in this quadrant and in the fourth quadrant. So what you will do, you will write shift cosine in the calculator, get your answer, and then to drag your answer into the fourth quadrant, you write 360 minus whatever the answer comes here. You write 360 minus answer, and then you write your two answers over there. Y is equal to 1 over x. I have already explained it to you. It is like this. 4 is for x. Yes, guys, this is called exponential function. Exponential function is a graph, comes from here, cuts the y-axis and get closer to the negative x-axis. This point is 1. If in the exam he gives you y 4 raised power minus x, then the graph is coming from the negative side. It cuts the y-axis at again 1. So 4 raised power minus x is this type of a graph. If examiner in the exam he say y is equal to minus 4 over raised to power x, then the graph comes from this side, it is below the x-axis, it's like this. But I don't think so the examiner will go in that much detail. The most important thing is 4 raised to power x or 4 raised to power minus x will be asked by the examiner. After that, we have tan of x graph. Again, you go to the calculator mode, and in the calculator mode, your start is 0, your end is 360, your step is 90 degree. Your calculator will give you error at 90 degrees. So please draw the vertical line. Error at 270, draw the vertical line, and then you at 180, I will get 0. At 0 degrees, tan 0 is 0, and tan 360 is also 0. Now, the tan graph is like this. Tan graph is like this. I have already explained it to you, this idea. That's why I'm moving so fast. So tan of x, send the 5 to the other side, 1 over 5. So this is a positive answer. So according to ASTC diagram, where tan is positive in this quadrant and in this quadrant. So what we will do, we will find shift tan of 1 over 5. For example, we get this answer. To drag this answer into the third quadrant, we write 180 degree minus answer. So these answers will be written in the answering space. So 2 over x, same reciprocal graph, guys. You have to draw this and this. But be careful, guys, when you draw this, it should get closer to the x-axis, like this. 2 raised power minus x, I told you if it was 2 raised power x, the graph comes from here. If it is 2 raised power minus x, the graph comes from here. So I'm going to draw this graph getting closer to the positive x-axis, cuts at the y-axis at 1. Sine x graph, if you go to the calculator mod, your starter is 0, ending at 360, and step is 90 degree. You will plot the points. 90, you will get 1. The 180, you will get 0. 270, you will get minus 1. And 360, you will get 0. Since sine and cosine are the wavy type of graphs, so you will make part of a wave up and part of a wave below the x-axis. Now, symmetry, describe fully the symmetry of sine of x, where the graph looks symmetrical. The graph looks symmetrical about 180 degrees. So it is symmetrical about 180 degree, because it is enlargement, you can say that, with a scale factor of -1, or it is 180 degree rotation about 180, or symmetrical about 180, you can say that about this point. Then, guys, we have to make sine x as a subject, since it is a trigonometric equation. So I will make sine x as a subject and sending all the constants to the other side. -1 goes to the other side, becomes 3, and divided by 4. It's a positive number. So according to ASTC diagram, sine is positive in this quadrant and this quadrant, but your calculator is capable of giving you answer only in the first quadrant, so 3 over 4. And if you want to drag this answer into the first quadrant, you will write here 180 minus answer. This is your answer, and then you will fill your answering spaces here. This is completing the square form. I have taught you in one of the video 3 methods. One easy method is whatever the coefficient you see over here, you divide it by 2, and then a is equal to 2. But here I'm going to use the differentiation technique. The derivative of x squared is 2x, and the derivative of 10x is 10. You put it equals to 0, and 2x plus 10. You will try to solve this equation. It gives you x is equals to minus 10 over 2, so x is equal to minus 5. Now substitute this into the original equation of a curve. So minus 5 whole squared plus 10, and here you put minus 5 plus 14. So 25 minus 50 plus 14. So this is minus 25 plus 14. it gives you minus 9. Now, what is b and what is a? Your a is not minus 5. When you put it here, you have to change the sign. Your a will be plus 5 whole squared, and the b should be, here you don't change the sign, you just write minus 9. This is one method. And if you don't want to use this technique, you can expand this and then you compare them. This is up to you. Okay. I use the method number 2, which was actually given in the previous video, which I shared with you regarding completing the square technique. Okay, guys, when you sketch the quadratic graph, this is the quadratic graph. When you sketch it, it is a parabola, maybe facing up, maybe facing down. If the coefficient of x square, if the coefficient of x square is positive, then it will be facing up. And if the coefficient of x square in the quadratic function is negative, it will be facing down. Now, this is a parabola which is facing up, but with this point is very important. And this is the turning point or the vertex. You remember you got x is equal to x coordinate minus 5 and the y coordinate was minus 9. So this minus 5 minus 9 is the vertex. So minus 5 minus 9 minus 5 and minus 9, I'm going to write it here. Where the graph cuts the y-axis, let me check. Your y-intercept must be provided to you. This is 14, so the graph cuts at 14. So now your graph comes, your parabola, half and half here. So the parabola, it should cut at 14. Examiner will give you the marks if your y-intercept is correct and if your vertex is right. So your vertex is minus 5 minus 9. How did I get it? I took the differentiation. I got the x coordinate minus 5, but a was plus 5. Done. And then we substituted it into the original equation. So we got the answer minus 9. So that is my b. So completing the square form is done. Another thing, the quadratic function is a parabola. So parabola facing up. Then you plotted the vertex and we know it is facing up, but where it cuts the y-axis, from the standard form, whatever is written here as a constant, that should be the y-intercept. So my y-intercept is 14. Let me go to the next. He said, like, sketch this graph x minus 1 whole squared. My friends, uh, um, you need to know y is equal to x squared. It's a parabola like this. But if someone wants to draw x minus 1 whole squared, it tells you that your parabola will be shifted, not 1 unit left. It will be shifted. It is always opposite sense. It will be shifted to 1 unit right. So this is 1. So because when you substitute it equals to 0, it gives you x is equal to 1. So 1, 0 is your vertex. So the parabola is like this. So let me draw the sketch. This is 1 and the parabola is like this. After this, he said, draw this. This sketch is easy because the y-intercept is 1. This is 1. And 1 up, and 2 units to the right. So then you draw this 1 unit up, 2 unit right. So you draw this straight line. Did you see, guys? So the sketch of this line is drawn with a red. Okay. And the graph with black is drawn for you. Then he said both are intersecting at 2 points. These are the 2 points they are intersecting. We need to find this length. So this length cannot be found unless we find the coordinates where they are intersecting each other. We need to put them equal to each other. So x minus 1 whole squared is equal to half x plus 1. So open this, x minus 1 is equal to half x plus 1. X squared minus x plus 1 is equal to half x plus 1. Can I cancel plus 1 with plus 1? Now we have x squared minus 2x. Bring minus half x to this side is equal to 0. So x squared and minus 2 minus half is minus 5 over 2x is equal to 0. Take x common, so x minus 5 over 2 is equal to 0. So this gives you x is equal to 0 and this gives you x is equal to 5 over 2. So these are the x values. I want to get the y coordinates also. So y is equal to 0 minus 1 whole squared. It gives you 1. And y is equals to 5 over 2 minus 1 whole squared. So it gives you 9 over 4. We found the coordinates. This is 5 over 2 and 9 over 4. And this point is 0, 1. We want to find their distance. The distance formula is y2 minus y1 and 9 over 4 minus 0 whole squared plus x2 minus x1. The y2 minus, this is 1 boys. And then 5 over 2 minus 0. Then you simplify it and you get your answer. Now the next is sketch. Um, to make the sketch, guys, we have to take x common from here. So when you take x common, what is left to you in the bracket? Y is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 4. Now take out your calculator. In a calculator, you just need to go to the polynomials. So enter 1, enter negative 4, enter 4. What is the answer? 2. Just only one answer coming. So y is equal to x is equal to 2, but in a factor form, you write it as x minus 2 and x minus 2. So we can write it as x minus 2 whole squared. So what is our a? Our a is 2. Now we need to draw the sketch. Since we have three factors here, x, x minus 2, and x minus 2. X minus 2 is a repeated factor. It gives you x is equals to 2. So this is 2 boys. So the graph comes from here. It will touch because these are the repeated factors. When there is a repeated factor, the graph will touch. And also, this will be x is equal to 0. The graph goes up and cuts at 0. So imagine the graph cuts at origin and it is touching at 2. So touching at 2 and cutting at 0. So this is the sketch we have. Next question is again completing the square form. So take the derivative wise. 2x plus 4x plus 4x is 4, 0. 2x is equal to negative 4, x is equal to negative 2. Substitute it to get the y coordinate. So our vertex is minus 2, minus 3. But in the completing square form, you have to change the sign. If it is minus 2, you will write it as plus 2 whole squared minus 3. So this is completing square form. We want to solve this equation. What is the answer we got it, guys? We got x plus 2 whole squared minus 3 is equal to 0. Can we solve it? Send the minus 3 to the other side. So x plus 2 whole squared is equal to 3. There's a glitch, guys. Let me open it again. So we reached over here. So now what are we going to do? We are going to send the 3 to the other side. So x is equal to 3. So x plus 2 is equal to plus minus square root of 3. And x is equal to minus 2 plus minus square root of 3. We got two answers. One is the plus sign with plus sign and the second one with the negative sign. He said that what is the, write down the minimum point of this. So minimum point is basically the vertex, which we found it here. This is the vertex, minus 2, minus 3. So minus 2, minus 3. Now where is minus 2? This is minus 2 and this is minus 3. So where the graph cuts the y-axis at 1. Let me draw the parabola cutting at 1 like this. Right? So here is your parabola. Now this one says that it cuts the The parabola cuts the x-axis at a and b. So at a and b, you need to put y is equal to 0. Solve the equation. Enter 1, enter 3, enter -4. It gives you 1 and -4. So this is -4 and this is 1. What are the coordinates of A? -4, 0 and 1, 0. To get the y coordinate, guys, what is this? This is -4. So 0, -4. Differentiate it. It is 2x plus 3. We want to find the equation of a tangent at 2, 6. So this is my gradient. So substitute the point 2 plus 3, which is 4 plus 3, it is 7. Y is equal to mx plus c, 6 is equal to 7. X coordinate plus c, 6 is equal to 14 plus c is equal to -8. So the equation of a tangent line will be y is equal to 7x minus 8. Tangent graph, you remember that we have to go to the table function, and that the table function gives you error message on 90. So the error is here. So it means the graph will not cut 90 and 270. You will get 0 here, 0 here, 0 here. So draw the graph. It is like this. This is the tan graph. Now tan of x is equal to -7 over 5. This is negative. According to ASTC rules, tan is negative in this quadrant and in this quadrant. But to get the basic angle, shift tan of, don't write the negative sign, 7 over 5. Drag the angle here. Suppose this is your answer. So 360 minus answer. And here is not 360, 180. 180 minus answer. So these two answers, we will write them here. Now factorize, guys. We can use the calculator. Factorization is possible. The coefficient of x squared is -1, and don't write negative. Yeah, just write -5. I have no objection. -1, and then 5, and then 24. What is the answer? 8. So we got 8. So x minus 8. Let me write it. Okay. What is the second answer? X minus 3. Just write the minus sign outside. Okay. Because if you write the minus sign outside, what are the factors you are going to get? You will be writing here 1 minus 5 minus 24. It gives you 8, and it gives you -3. So you can write it as +3, and but minus sign will stay outside. Let me explain it to you guys why this problem is happening. Look at that. Coefficient of x squared is negative. First, you need to take the minus sign outside. So when you take the minus sign outside, it become x squared minus 5x minus 24. And as per rule, when you do the factorization, what did I write? 1 minus 5 and minus 24. It gave us 8. So x minus 8. And the second factor which we are going to get, it is -3. So we write here x plus 3. Now, if you don't want to write the minus sign and you just do it directly, so then what will happen? So you write -1 here, and then 5 here, and then 24. What is the answer? 8, which is x minus 8, and then you write -3, but you will write over there +3. You have to write the minus sign outside because there is a minus here. Okay, so factorization is done. Now after that, we need to know the vertex, guys. So the vertex from here is, this is 8, and this factorization, it where it cuts the x-axis, it cuts at 8, and it cuts at -3. So A and B are done. Where it cuts the y-axis, it cuts the y-axis at 24. So he's asking you what are the values of A, B, C. So A is -3, B is 8, and this is 24. Next question, he said find the gradient to take the derivative. So derivative is 0 plus 5 minus 2x. And in the place of x, we substitute minus 1.5. So m is equal to 5 plus 3, and it will give you 8. Now sketches, oh yes, where it is touching from here, the value of the critical point is -1. Here x is equal to 3, but it is touching at 3. So let me show you where is 3. This is 3 and this is -1. So boys, you just bring the graph and it should touch at 3. It should touch at 3 and it cuts at 1. Where it cuts the y-axis, no need to mention it. If you want to mention it 0 0, I think he mentioned it here. Oh yes, if you want to tell the examiner where it cuts the y-axis, put x is equal to 0 into the graph. So 0 plus 1, so 0 minus 3 whole squared, so this is 1 and this is 9. So it cuts at 9. It cuts the x-axis at 3 and -1, cuts the y-axis at 9. Next, we want to open this bracket, so x plus 1, and this is x minus 3 and x minus 3. First, we open them, x squared minus 3x minus 3x plus 9, so x squared minus 6x plus 9. This bracket is going to multiply with x plus 1, x cubed minus 6x squared plus 9x plus x squared minus 6x plus 9. Simplify them, x squared minus 5x squared plus 3x and plus 9. Next, oh, the same type of a question came. We want to do the completing the square. Take the derivative, minus 3 minus 2x is equal to 0, minus 3 is equal to 2x, so x is equal to minus 3 over 2. Clear-wise, and now we need to substitute it. Minus 3 over 2 minus 3 over 2 whole squared. So in the calculator, we just go there, go to the computing mod, and 18 minus 3 bracket open minus 1.5 bracket close minus 1.5 bracket close squared, it gives us 81 over 4. 81 over 4, so I'm going to write here b is 81 over 4 minus a, what is a, guys? A should be 3 over 2. A should be 3 over 2 plus x, okay, whole squared. Now we want to make a sketch of this. So sketches, we already know the x coordinate is minus 1.5 and the y coordinate is 81 over 4. Let me check what is 81 over 4. 81 divided by 4 gives us 20.25. 20.25. So minus 1.5 and 20.25. Okay, so this is a graph. So the graph is facing down. Where it cuts the y-axis, it cuts the y-axis at 18, and then this is done. So we have shown the parabola facing down since the coefficient of x squared was negative. Now we need to make we need to tell the examiner that where the graph cuts the x-axis. To cut the x-axis, we need to put this whole expression equal to 0. So this will give you x is equal to 0, x minus 1 equal to 0, and x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, and x is equal to 2. So 0, 1, and 2. When the graph cuts the x-axis, put y is equal to 0 always. Now show that when we multiply all these factors, so let us do this together. First we multiply x minus 1 and x minus 2, so x squared minus 2x minus x plus 2, x squared minus 3x plus 2, open the brackets, x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x. This is the same thing which I want to get. Now I want to find the turning points of the f of x. Take the derivative, 3x squared minus 6x plus 2, put it equal to 0. Now the calculator will give you, look at the equation. So enter polynomial, 2, 3 enter, minus 6 enter, and 2 enter. What is the first answer we got in decimals? We got 1.58, and the second one is 0.42. 0.42. Examiner needs full working, so you can show it to the examiner. Is 3, B is minus 6, and C is 2. Use the quadratic formula, B squared minus 4AC all over 2A, and then we substitute the values over there. We got the two answers. The values of the turning points are 1.9, since we need to write it to the one decimal place, 1.9 and zero point 0.4. Now, my friends, you need to plug these values into the original function to get your corresponding values for the y. So in the bracket open, you write 1.58 cubed minus 3, 1.58 whole squared plus 2, 1.58, whatever the answer comes, you'll write it here. And then you substitute 0.42. And then finally we can write their y coordinates. The guy said you need to draw the f of x. So you remember your f of x was x, x minus 1 and 2. F of x is x, x minus 1 and x minus 2. So x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, and x is equal to 2. So the graph will come from here, cuts at 1 and cuts at 0. So this is the sketch of the graph.